Where are the big booty golf bitches? I found that meme on Instagram and I thought it was really funny, so I wanted to replicate it. Anyways, I'm Gapfer from channel Gapfer, and I've recently been asked a question. Could you talk about depression? Kind of. If we're talking clinical depression, so major depressive disorder, then no, I can't help you. I think if you feel you have symptoms from like major depressive disorder, you should contact a professional, somebody who can like give you clinical advice, somebody who can actually help you with the disorder, because I am just a 17-year-old on YouTube. I can't offer professional help. I can, however, tell you how to maybe mitigate and cope with when you're feeling depressed. I've noticed that the biggest reason I've ever felt depressed when I was like younger was when I had no place I belonged to. And that doesn't mean in a physical sense or in a mental sense. It's just like general aspects of my life that were not going into the direction that I really wanted them to go. And I wasn't really thinking rationally about these things back then. However, I can definitely tell you that when I didn't have good friends, when I didn't have good romantic relationships, when I didn't have a good connection with my family, when my life was just I was just kind of cruising along in my life, having no purpose, that's when I felt most depressed out of, well, any time in my life. As I think it's pretty normal when you don't have a goal that you're obsessed with, when you don't have something that you're passionate about, that you wake up to every day. And if you're feeling depressed, your brain is just signaling you that there is something wrong with the way you do life. If you don't have clinical depression, of course. I'm just talking about feeling depressed here. So my number one advice to somebody who's feeling depressed would be get a goal and start striving towards it. That's just kind of it. Because once you get like a sense of purpose and a sense of passion, I've made a video on passion that you should check out. That's when your life will sort of start putting itself into the right direction. The puzzles are gonna start coming together, and once you have like a concrete goal that you want to hit, you outline the steps. So I don't know, let's say that your goal is six-pack by next summer, because we're already in summer, so it's kind of too late to do that. Let's say a six-pack in summer. Okay, what would I need for that to happen? Well, you need to establish a training routine. You need to establish how your diet is gonna go, what you're gonna eat. Are you gonna bulk up? Are you gonna cut? What are you gonna do? What is the plan? And once you have like a concrete goal, you can start doing research. Just like, okay, how does nutrition work? What are macronutrients? What are micronutrients? How does protein synthesis work? What is hypertrophy? What is muscle damage? Blah, 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 blah. You'll do your research. You'll find out what you need to do in order to achieve that goal. And then you'll start working toward it. And you must align as much of your life as it is possible toward that goal. And you can have multiple goals. For example, my goal is to build an incredible physique, to get 1 million subscribers on my main channel one day, to post videos that change people's lives, whether it be these videos or my comedy videos. I have a bunch of goals that I'm striving towards, but it's always my diet is on point. My social life, if we're not talking romantic relationships, is very on point. And like stuff like romantic relationships, which I don't really have figured out, is something that often makes me feel pretty depressed. And that's because I don't have them in order. And I need to kind of align my life and fix my life for it to make me feel better. So after you establish your long-term goal, something that you really, really want to do, and when you get your main goal, add some sort of exercise. 30 minutes of walking a day, for example, is already exercise. I think you need to progressively overload it as time goes on. But for starters, it's fine, because exercise does increase your cognitive ability. It has a bunch of science and nitty-gritty details that I'm not gonna get into. It's good, and it will make you happy. Exercising on the daily is awesome. And another thing that I've really noticed that helps me with feeling depressed is eliminating distractions. Because if you're feeling depressed and you don't really know what you're feeling depressed about, it's because you don't let your brain speak to you, because you're constantly stimulating yourself, whether that be social media, yeah, it's mostly social media. You gotta let yourself think and realize what is it that is putting you in that negative state of mind. Once you get a big goal, once you start exercising, once you start fixing your diet, once you start fixing your sleep, once you start getting your social life in check, those things will start clicking and you'll feel better, you'll feel incredible. When you're actually satisfied with the direction your life is going at, the depression is gonna be gone. And if it still doesn't disappear by then maybe you might have a clinical problem that I cannot help you with. But I am 99% sure that not every single aspect of your life is in check before you wrote that comment. And if anybody else is struggling with depression, an actionable step for you today is grab out a journal or like a piece of paper, anything. Grab a pen and write down one major goal. Well, let's say 5 major goals. Yeah, let's do 5 major goals that you really want to achieve over the course of your life. So there's no hurry. You'll probably be alive for another 60 to 70 years. Write down 5 goals. And if you can't think of any 5 goals, just start writing down anything. Start writing down, I don't know what to write. 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 And you will write that until your brain gives up and gives you a goal. Even if it's something like earning $50 a month. It's a small goal, but very achievable. However, I like my goals to be unachievable because it makes me grind that much harder. So instead of saying, I don't know, I want to be an anime channel, I would say I want to be the greatest and the biggest anime channel ever made. Now, that goal isn't very feasible due to the fact I'm really late to this whole anime thing. However, it gives me motivation and it makes me strive for something. It gives me a sense of purpose. It makes me grit my teeth and say, an hour of work isn't going to make me the best anime channel of all time, so I put in 3, I put in 4, I put in 5. That's the way I would approach feeling depression if you're not clinically depressed. Get your life in check and come back again, and I want to see if you're still feeling depressed, because I doubt that will be the case. Thank you so much for watching. I suggest giving my video on passion a watch, because if you're not really sure what you want to do in life, maybe it's gonna help you. If you have any questions, please let me know, and I'm endlessly grateful for the time you spent on this video. Goodbye, my Gap for Roosies.